That's what the lure is doing in the water. So if your lure is rotating, it's not working. If it looks like that, you're good. You're getting the wobbling action. It's a fast wobble action. Okay. Can you get a slower action than that? Yes. But at maximum, at max, that's what it should look like. No more. No more. How can we achieve a slower wobble? Well, if you're plunking, you need to be in a little slower water, okay? And it may literally just sit on there like this, right? And it'll just wobble like that a little slower. If you're in a little faster water, that's what it's going to look like. As long as it's not rotating all the way over, then you're good. Okay, as long as it's not rotating. If you're drift fishing and you start off in some froggy water, yeah, it's going to be a slower wobble. That's why we have to have that input to it, okay? Now, a lot of people ask what size I use. Predominantly, I use number 1. I don't use the Wees. I'm not saying they're not good. They are good. They're great for trout. A lot of people will go out there and they will buy number 2s. That's the bigger one, and that's the one that comes with the swivel on it, right? That has the swivel. But guess what? The bigger ones, those are better for trout, kokanee, and cutthroat. Believe it or not. The bigger ones are better for kokanee and trout, cutthroat trout on South Lake Washington, things like that, walleye. The number 1 is the perfect size for salmon and steelhead. Perfect size. So the bigger ones, they've got a little swivel like that on them. On these number 1s, right in this package right here, I tie my lines directly to that ring. Directly to the ring. Now it's kind of interesting. Actually, I'll talk a little bit about Dick here. So Dick Nite Spoons, they've been around since 1940, right before 1940. It's a pretty interesting company. It's a Northwest company. They're right over outside of Snohomish. They used to be in Linwood, right? Well, the man that originally had Dick Nite sold Dick Nite to Dick's dad, who owned it, and Dick gave it to his son, who, his name happened to be Dick. So it's by coincidence, really, that Dick Nite is owned by Dick, right? But that's the way it is. For their spoons, they've got 3 sizes. They've got 0s, which we call them the Wees. They've got number 1s and number 2s. If you want to catch salmon, you want the number 1. That's the size you want. For each size, guys, they have 85 colors. That's amazing. I mean, really and truly, that is amazing. And I will tell you this about Dick Nite. If you have a color combination that you really think is going to be the thing, or it's working for you, maybe you've tested some on some lures, and that's the color combination, you have it suggestion, he will listen to you. Just email him and tell him what you're looking for. Okay, but 85 colors, you have a lot of lures to choose from. If people ask me, they go, what is the color? Well, hey, there's standards, right? The 2 most popular lures, and I didn't know this until recently, their 2 most popular colors are the 50-50 and the nickelback frog. Those are their 2 most popular, which happen to be the 2 colors that I prefer fishing the most. I use 2 colors in my box, the 50-50 and the nickelback frog, all year. I believe that the action of the lure is more important than the color. So think about that. The action of the lure is huge. You have to achieve that perfect wobble. You achieve that, you have fish. Okay? Yes, sir.
How long is I put the Dick Nite in my tackle box, it's got DP on it, I bring it home sometime, lay it on the counter. How long will that last?
Until the finish wears off, it's sprayed on. Yeah, it's part of the lure making process. So it's baked on. Yeah. Does UV help? I think so. I think UV helps. Yeah, I actually will spray. I have a UV spray that on some lures that I don't have, not specifically Dick Nite, but some of the lures I have, I'll spray some UV on it, and it increases my ratio. You can buy UV spray. So if you have some lures that do not have UV, or I'll give you a classic example, cheater and yarn, no UV. Grab some UV spray, spray some UV on there, gives it a little different color contrast down below. Yeah, so I think UV works. No. And now with UV. Pretty soon, all of his painted lures, Dick said that he's just going to UV all of his painted ones. The metal lures like the 50/50s, or like if you get like the brass and the green, you know, the 50/50 brass and green, those won't be UV, but all of his painted stuff will be UV. So that's pretty nice. Dick Nite Spoons also has some other products. If you like to build lures and stuff like that, they've got paints, lure coat, right? You can see this stuff on their website. And they also sell a UV top coat that you can paint your stuff with. They have DNA, it's an attractant. They've got 4 different types there. And I gotta tell you, just because it says kokanee doesn't mean that that's all it works on. So like, you know, you look at the DNA one and it may be for trout or kokanee. You can use it for more than that. It's a scent, and scents work, and I like a lot of different scents in my boat. And they also started just this year our Dodgers. Now currently they've got 6 colors, but they're adding 9 more colors this year. And we just slammed the kokanee this year on those new Dodgers. And I really like, are they doing anything any more than probably any other Dodger? Probably not, but what I really like about it are the color combinations. He has colors that no one else has. And when it comes to kokanee, I think color does matter. It really does. So that's some information. These are my sponsors. I appreciate these guys. They support me, and I trust their products. I fished their products before I started doing seminars and doing this stuff, and now I'm on their pro staff. So I don't just do it because, you know, hey, they give me a deal or something. I trust this stuff, and you guys can too. All right, folks. Well, there you have it. That's a lot of information. What I would suggest is that you refine 1 or 2 techniques and become very good at them so that you're comfortable. It's very important that the lure has a nice wobbling action to it, and that action might be a little faster or it might be a little slower, but it doesn't want to spin, it needs to wobble. The Dick Nite lure is responsible for over 95% of the fish I put in the boat every fall for my clients. So get yourself some Dick Nite Spoons, try the different colors, and go catch some fish. Thanks for watching.